And we're live. Conversations with
Hello.
the Beat the Boss challenge winners from the James Smith Academy. So we've got our first place winner, Craig Farrant. Second place, we've got Karen Gellard.
Third.
Sorry, second. I messed them up already. And then the one I left out, everybody knows, is our resident chef, Coops.
Mugged me off then, didn't you?
I did. So yeah, you've just been demoted, mate. So if you'd worked out the audio from the start, you might have got your second place.
On the live preamble.
But yeah, we did the Bing Tangs with Baddie winners, and I thought it'd be a good opportunity to check in with the next challenge winners, the Beat the Boss winners. They did beat the boss. Not that did James put an effort in? I'm not sure.
He was doing his BJJ weight, wasn't he? He was trying to get down to something.
He was trying to get to his BJJ weight. So, but interesting episode to try and tap into some of that experience from our winners and see what they were learning, where they were when they found out they won, what was that feeling like, and kind of where are they now and what's going on. So it's been probably 11 weeks since you won, something like that. It's been a while, so time's passed, life's changed, and so let's maybe just start with Craig, and the Cilla Black type fashion. What's your name and where do you come from?
Hi, so I'm Craig. I'm from Swansea. I've been following James for a couple of years on social media. That he's really popped on the scene big in the last year or so. And my friends, the two girls I've done a lot of walking and training with throughout the duration of the challenge, they basically put me up to it. Emily had researched the challenge and knew about it. I wasn't an academy member until the beginning, right at the beginning of the challenge. So I signed up for it, and they basically they wanted some sort of challenge to focus themselves, and they told me that they wouldn't win the challenge as they didn't have as much to lose as I did. So they egged me on and pushed me into it, and we took it pretty serious from day one, and well, we got all the way to week 12 and I ended up winning.
Good man, mate. Good man.
Yeah, brilliant. It sounds like having that local accountability or your friendship to keep you accountable was a big benefit to it.
Yeah, it was good. It was good. They stuck with me practically every day all the way through it.
Nagged, didn't they? They nagged
and kept an eye on me. We had a box from work that we had as one of our trackers. So in the girls' kitchen in their house, they got a big cardboard box with every week counted down, and we wrote our weights on there every single week to see how we were doing. So that was a bit of a visual aid. So every time I walked in the kitchen, we could see how we were getting on. And we sort of had my goal was to lose 3 stone. So we had that as a target on there.
A lot of 12 weeks, man. That's fair fucking play.
Yeah, I didn't think it was going to be possible.
I still don't, and I'm 40.
But yeah, there was like a lot going on through the duration of that challenge. Like we were still, I think we were still in the first main big lockdown where everything was completely shut right at the start. So becoming an academy member and having my program set for me, it was quite limited with the equipment that I had available to me. I basically just had 2 light dish dumbbells, and that was it really. So they tailored the program around that for me. I stuck to, I think I was averaging about 3 to 4 workouts a week on that. But the biggest thing for me was, well, between nutrition was walk. So just getting my steps up, getting my feet up. There was not a lot open or anything to do, so but that's all we had was walking really. It was the workouts in the house and go for a walk.
So you tapped back into the coaches then and said, yeah, look, I need to change my program.
Yeah. So as things started to open, a few weeks into the challenge, I think it wasn't until about week 4, maybe about 5 or 6 actually, the gym started to open. So they retailored a program for me just for the gym there. So outlined all the equipment that we had in the gym. So had a decent program set for that. And then just as that opened, I ended up going on a 2-week holiday to France. So we started off in Disney and then went down to a campsite down to the south of France with a couple of my friends and their little boy. And they tailor-made another program for me just on body weight. And I was quite religious in our hotel in Paris. I was doing my workouts on the balcony there. And then when we went down to the south of France, I was doing them on the decking of our little cabin every afternoon.
Say, well, there's a world, there's a way.
Yeah.
And that's dedication. There's a reason. One, if you've been through all of that and you stuck to your, what did you say, 4 workouts a week?
Yeah, but 3 to 4.
Still quite a lot, isn't it?
It is.
It's
a
a
lot.
commitment, fair play, and it's paid off. I mean, look, like I said, you got decent shoulders on. You lost a fuck ton of fat, and got yourself a holiday. I mean, there's not much you can argue with. But
yeah, that's
you're waiting
a lot of ticks in the boxes. That one.
Fair play to you.
So, well, congratulations, Craig.
Thank you.
And I did have a little peruse of your Facebook, a bit of Facebook stalking. Triathlon. Swansea?
Yeah.
When was that?
That was a while ago. That was 2017, I believe, maybe 2016. 2017. I was actually booked on one this year that I wanted to do, but because of COVID, it was cancelled. So I'm down to do it this year. So they moved our entries back. So April and I'm set for the Swansea Triathlon.
Which one's that? The Swansea Triathlon.
Swansea,
yeah. That is my lifetime goal is to do an Ironman. So I don't know why, but
do a boat race.
So yeah, but yeah, they're brilliant. Did you say did you use the kind of coach chat then throughout, or not just the
yeah, they were quite good. To be honest, I wasn't one for going on there and asking a lot of questions, but I think there's an auto check-in set on it, but I was just replying to that to start with, and you sort of end up building a bit of a chat with the coaches because they reply to all your messages. So it was it was good to have that additional support, and like they were asking my weight loss that week, or was I managing to get all my workouts in, and if I hadn't lost so much, they just given me little tips and little hints, and like towards the end, I think one of the tips they were giving me was to make sure I was upping my water intake. I don't think I was drinking enough water throughout, so that seemed to help, especially in the last couple of weeks. I became more religious with that.
And what's been the overall result then? Did you meet your 3 stone or? Yeah,
so I actually beat it. I think it was about 3 stone, 3 point something. It was about 45.9 pounds in total from the beginning to the end of the challenge.
Amazing.
Days.
But I actually started a couple of weeks early, so I lost even more than that again. So
You're a fraud. That's it. Give your prize back.
no, I lost more on top of what I did.
Right,
So
okay.
it was 3.3 during the 12 weeks of the challenge, but I lost I think I lost £6 the week before that as well. So
you've cleared £50 in like 14 weeks.
Yeah,
that's incredible. That deserves a first place.
thank you.
So,
Yeah, man.
yeah, well done.
So impressive doing it on holiday as well. That really is dedication.
Thanks. Yeah, it was good because the people I went on holiday with, they were quite active. So like he's one of my best mates. We took our bikes, so we did a lot of cycling when we were down in the south of France, and I still enjoyed my holiday. I still managed to drink most nights on holiday within moderation. But there was one or two nights we went a little bit heavier. The Swans managed to get to the playoff semi-finals. So we had a big night there against Brentford. The first leg when we won, and then the second night drowning our sorrows when we lost. But my thinking behind it was just work hard in the days, eat well throughout the day, plenty of swimming, plenty of doing my fitness program, and running, cycling, and enjoy the evenings then. That's how I managed to keep it off on the holiday. And then when I came back,
he doesn't like to make exemptions, does he? Unless he's getting his BJJ weight down, or he's got a dose of the clap. He's always keen to like get involved, have a night out, eat what you want, just make sure that you bank the calories and all the rest of it. It's a simple message. I mean, if you want to enjoy yourself, fucking enjoy yourself. But it's on you, isn't it? The only person that's going to benefit from sticking with it or dropping, like having a boozy weekend and smashing 6,000 calories or whatever it was, and then going on to gin and rice cakes in the week just to keep the calories down. He's an advocate of that, and no, I think he did it the right way, and it turned out he lost more than 3 stone in 12 weeks. Fair fucking play. I didn't, but then again, I've got a long way to go, so that's all good.
Brilliant, Craig. So Coops, nice link there. What's your story?
I've been with the JSA for about 2.5 years. James was on my Facebook like everyone else, swearing like a motherfucker, and I love a potty mouth, so he had me at hello fuckers, so that was quite cool. And then I met a decent group of friends after a lot of like shit going on in life, by growing up quick, getting married, buying a house, and having a child all in 1 year kind of floored me mentally, physically, financially, and all the rest of it. Not in a bad way, all very, very good ways, but just a massive change up. So found the JSA, made some friends, attended more socials than I did the gym. And then COVID came along, and because I work in hospitality and events, everything like evaporated. Literally, there was nothing, and no one was asking for a consultant. There were no events going on in the summer. Just like, and like crapped my pants a little bit, and so took the challenge as a bit of focus to get some routine. And what I've learned, probably too late in life, routine and structure is quite important. Like, you get up in the morning at 7:30, 6:30 to go to a job at 9, whatever it is, you stick to it. I'm believing in muscle memory. You know, when you come home half cut and you know where the light switch is because you've done it over and over again. You know where the fridge is, and you know where the dog is, and you're not going to fall over. And that kind of muscle memory, you need to train your brain to do the same thing. Not getting too deep or anything. I just needed that focus. I needed that weekly check-in, take a picture of my fat ass, send it, and finish the course, because this is like my 3rd time at the challenge. And quit after, like, I think the first one week 6, maybe week 8. This one I'm flagging because I had a rough month last month for lockdown again. But the one that I came second in was because I stuck to it and finished the course. And for me, it was about building that routine and helping myself mentally over the physical thing. And I'm a massive advocate of like looking after oneself, and very good to talk a good game, but to actually muscle up and do it and get to the finish line was just my sole goal. I had a lot of people coming in going, no, it doesn't look like you've lost much weight or changed anything. I'm like, cool, man, whatever. I kind of ignored them and deleted them. But yeah, it was always just finish the course. And I did, and I was happy with that. And then I was down on holiday with the missus and the boy down in Devon. And then I woke up to like a few Facebook messages and WhatsApps going, you're going to, like, congrats. I'm like, fuck, well, I don't know what the fuck, I was probably drunk, fuck it, I'll leave it. And then had a look, and there it was. So, trust me, if anyone else looking at the first, second and third was surprised, I was more surprised. All right, so I appreciate it. I'm very thankful, and it is just the start for me. This one's gone a little bit wayward, but yeah, I'll be hitting the next challenge and the challenge after that, because there's more to build on. Sound like Eddie Jones in the England rugby team. Yeah, it wasn't our best performance. We've got a lot further to go, and I firmly believe that doesn't happen overnight or over 12 weeks. There's a lot to sort out, not just in myself, but I think everyone needs to just. For anyone else thinking of doing the challenge and bailing, I've done it 3 times. I've bailed halfway through. Just the faff of taking the fucking photos when I jump out of the shower is just ball ache. Absolute fucking ball ache. Can't be bothered. Got something to do. Got to catch a bus, train, whatever. Just next time you sign up for a challenge, stick with it. Don't make a cake and ass party out of it, and don't put too much pressure on yourself. Because I think once people say you've got to log in every week and take a photo, you feel this kind of unnecessary pressure. So for me, like I said, it's my 4th time. I just put it in the fuck it bucket and just did what I had to do. Not the bare minimum. I've still worked out. I still hit over 1 million steps. I still watched my calories. I didn't post at all compared to other ones. I just wanted to weigh in, do what I needed to do, like hit the criteria, the minimum, the bare minimum, and get to the finish line. So yeah, that was why I came second, because I stuck with it. I think
you're right there. That well, it's not the first time I've heard it. Speaking to people on the podcast, is people hate the pictures, and I totally get it. It's hard. Like, it seems like it takes forever, but you do.
That's a minute out of your day. It's 5 minutes max,
yeah.
But it's just a ball ache because I don't know. I think there's an overhanging, and it's not meant to be. I don't know if it's the rules or whatever. The criteria is not clear potentially in the first couple of times I did it. You just need 12 photos. Take them all at 12 minutes before the final date. I don't know, but do you know what I mean? It's just that it's that routine, and you need that routine. They know what they're doing. I think it's obviously worked, because Craig and Karen are fucking fantastic, and I've rediscovered my love for the gym. So it does work, but you just got to apply yourself a little bit more than you regularly would. And for me, I wasn't, for the first 3 times, I was fucking lazy. I was like, oh, I could take photos of myself for 5 minutes, or I could get down the pub 5 minutes earlier, and it didn't work out. And then this one, it did. So here we are.
But those challenges that didn't work out were building blocks, right?
Yeah, just more focus, I think. I just honestly found a group of people who were extremely supportive back when the group was about 2,000 or 3,000 people, and they're all online friends. You don't know them from fucking Adam, and they're really nice and genuine and supportive, and will give you the correct backup and advice, like the coaches and the admin and all the rest of it. They are not just picked from a fucking they are people that have got experience and can give the correct advice, not fucking Joe Blogg's wank piece who thinks he's some kind of fucking whatever that doesn't know what he's talking about, or you don't validate. He's not validated, you know what I mean? Or she's not validated. They have a decent coaching team, a decent admin team. And I found the group really supportive and made friends through that. Obviously went to the socials and got absolutely ninjaed every single time, made a tit of myself. And they still talk to me the next morning. So that makes them okay by me. Yeah, I think it's a lovely place to be. It's 23,000 people now. I don't know anyone. I've never met Karen, yourself, or Craig before, yet here we are. because we've all got a similar goal, similar place to like chill out and relax and all the rest of it. So yeah, well done, James, you prick.
Coops, I live 40 minutes from you. I'm only in Bristol, so.
Oh, you Bristol?
Yeah.
Now, why the fuck you got a picture of Aston Villa on your profile picture then?
Because I'm a Villa fan. I'm from Scotland, live in Bristol, and I've never lived in Birmingham, but I'm a Villa fan, so I don't really know how it happened.
That's right, mate. I was born in Bedford and I support Gloucester, but now I know I am officially kind of West Country, Cheltenham and Gloucester boy. So, and that's rugby for you guys that are wondering if Gloucester has a soccer team.
Unfortunately, Ben, I'm a lifelong Tigers supporter.
Yeah,
so suffering the pain.
Yeah, I bet.
There was no sympathy there whatsoever. So Coops, your goal when was just to finish the challenge?
Yeah, well, and obviously shift some timber, feel better about oneself, feel fitter. Like I said, when hospitality and events disappeared in the summer, evaporated, I took a delivery job, delivering like newspapers to the vulnerable and PPE and like masks and all that jazz. It's 3 a.m. start, 7 days a week. But my steps went through the fucking roof because I was just like getting out the car and the van and running up driveways, running down roads, like figuring out where I could park, and if there were 3 houses in close vicinity, parking in one spot and just like shuttle running to each place. So my steps were good. My cows were mediocre, depending on whether I went to the pit on the piss or not. And yeah, it was just good timing, I think. Really good timing. Had the basis of like, if you learn MFP, if anyone's just starting out on this journey, if you learn MyFitnessPal, and it'll take about 2 or 3 months, you'll know what's good and what's bad without having to have to log it. And then you get into a habit like, right, I'm going to smash a yogurt instead of a slice of bread. I'm going to have chicken slices instead of, I don't know, sausages. And you learn, and that's like, again, the muscle memory, turning the light switch on and off when you're half cut, you just program your body a little bit. And I think that helped as well. So I've been with the JSA 2.5 years, done 3 challenges, and this was just, it slotted in the right time. Lockdown was a bastard to everyone, but with previous experience and knowledge and all the rest of it, it just all came together at the right time.
And so something that came out of speaking to somebody else, and I'm not sure, but I thought it worthwhile asking you, how do you account for your, she called it our BLTs, our bites, licks and tastes, as a cook? Do you account for all
is that mental? Name and shame. Name and shame.
No, I thought it was a good idea because, Lauren Condron.
Oh, the Yank. Oh, sorry. Yeah, I know Lauren. Yeah, sorry. Hi, Lauren.
But yeah, I just wondered if you had ever thought about how many calories that you do as a cook with those kind of.
Oh, so yeah, obviously we have to taste everything. Occupational hazard. Never trust a skinny chef, right? So, but again, with MFP, and again, it doesn't happen overnight. After about a month of logging everything and tracking everything, you'll find which things are your friends and which aren't. Okay, avocados, healthy fat, peanuts, healthy fat, but still big red fucking part of the pie chart. So bin them off. I knew that if I had wanted a snack, I'd rip open a tin of tuna and just smash that. All protein, fuck all fat. And that's the way it went. I used to, if I was feeling really hungry, smash a pint of water because it would just bloat the stomach out so you feel full and then concentrate on something else. I think the reason people eat what they do or get comfort food or get on the smash, primarily it's boredom. You've done a whole working day and then you're on like relax and you've concentrated all this time and you just like haven't got anything to do with your hands, your feet and your fucking mouth. So you just end up smashing food in. And it's just a question of choosing the right food. Honestly, it's not an expensive way to do it. I used to just bowl into a Tesco's or a Sainsbury's or whatever, and you'd find wafer thin chicken or ham for £1. And I'd just bowl in there, take that, not look at anything else on the shelf and just eat that on the way down the road. Because obviously you can't open a tin of tuna when you're walking down the street. So it would just be like little tips and tricks like that. Coffee is great for suppressing appetite. It kind of takes it away. I mean, if you want to get into like hardcore narcotics, they'll take your appetite away, absolutely, but not very good for your health. So coffee when you can, pint of water when you can. Like Craig mentioned earlier, rehydrating. No one, I guarantee, unless your piss is like proper clear, no one's hydrated enough. There's Pippa McKean, she's all right, did tell me this thing about hospitals. They have the 500 milliliter jugs, and Karen will probably back this up. They have a red lid, an orange lid, or an amber lid, and a green lid, and that's the rehydration of the patient. So if they've done the red lid, that's 500 mils that they've had. They'll swap it out, refill the get a new one, refill it, and put an orange lid on. And when the orange jug's done, they've had 1,000, they've had a litre, and then they're on the green. And so if they get to the green lid throughout the day for these like really frail people, that they're rehydrated enough. And I heard that and I was like, oh, that's a fucking piece of piss. That's 3 pints of water a day. How the fuck can't we do that? And so that's very important. Rehydration, James talks about it, it fucking bores me if I'm completely honest. Rehydration and sleep.
That was going to be my next question for you. If you were getting up at 3 a.m., what was your sleep like throughout that challenge?
Well, I like spending time with my family still because I'm still young. So I'd go to bed about 9, 10 at the latest, get the 5 or 6 hours in, wake up, have a coffee, take the water in the car, and then I'd have an afternoon nap of about 2 or 3 hours. So it's not ideal. In an ideal world, I'd be going to bed at 6, but that means I'll be going to bed before my 4-year-old. And yeah, I think sleep is important. And if you can generally fucking get to bed as soon as you possibly can, and you have the chance and opportunity to get 8+ hours sleep a night, you'd be a fool not to. It's not hard, is it? It's free. It will do you a world of good. Unfortunately, I've had 8 months of not, so I'm going to make good for that next year and just get more sleep and drink more water.
Brilliant. And just before I jump into Karen, Craig, how do you find it working in McDonald's? So maybe not the healthiest place in the world, but how do you kind of, because don't you get a free meal every shift?
Yeah, so we all the staff members are entitled to, well, we're entitled to, we don't have to have it, but we're entitled to a free meal on our break. We have a meal allowance there. Like there are obviously healthier options on the menu in McDonald's, but yeah, for the duration of the challenge, especially coming back after lockdown, I challenged myself to not eat anything in work from McDonald's. I was meal prepping and taking food in. Like Coop said, I used to take cans of tuna as well for snacks. Sometimes I'd be doing some long days where I need more than just one meal on my shift. So I was taking, I don't know if you've seen them, but John West, they got little tuna infusion pots.
Yeah.
Rather than just plain tuna, they got loads of different flavors on them, and they're really, really tasty. So I was taking maybe one of them as a snack. Just some fruit to graze on every night.
That must be so hard. If I worked at McDonald's, those nuggets would be getting fucking smashed. Like,
yeah. Well, I've worked there. So before I'm on the court, I've worked there since school. So, like you were saying about muscle memory and just getting into habits, like it's there, it's free, it's quick, it's easy.
You'd have to roll me out after work.
There's no prepping. There's a
play to you, Craig.
Yeah, I've stuck strong. I got into a bit of cookery myself. I was making like batches of homemade soup and just a couple of other little things. Currently living with my parents at the moment. So my mum's been great, and they don't eat too bad at home. So when we've been having meals between the three of us, just been keeping a portion ready for the next day, and just heating that up when I go into work. So when
it comes to portion control, I hate waste. Any waste.
Yeah.
My son's like left behind, and usually he's pretty good, but it has to, he eats all the good stuff and then leaves me the carrot sticks, which isn't the worst thing in the world. But like sometimes it's like, I'm hoovering that, that ain't going in the bin, that won't keep, that's only a mouthful, and I'm just there at the sink going, hello, dishwasher, and me, and all the rest of it. I mean, fair play to you, mate. That's some commitment.
I think just for the challenge for me, especially being a weight loss challenge and having a weight loss goal, that like MFP was imperative, and just sticking within my calories as much as possible each day. Like, yeah, there's days, you know, there was evenings, friends would invite me round, like during the summer we'd have the odd barbecue, we'd have the odd, you know, go take away or whatever. It's just having the right choices and not overindulging, but still enjoying yourself. And if you're over one day, just make sure you're a bit stricter the next.
Yeah, 100%. Rectify mistakes.
So, Coops, how much did you lose? And then we'll switch.
I don't know. I went for so I didn't do weight. I did beer belly inches. So I'm pretty well. I'm broad anyway, and I'm looking better than I did before I finished the bloody challenge. So my belly was at about 46 inches, love handles and all in, and I think I got down to 43 or 42 and a half. But that's just like, I didn't measure anything else. I did, honestly. You're talking about being a fraud. I don't feel like a fraud because I know I stuck it out. But compared to a lot of other people, I did the bare minimum and managed to do it. I don't know. It's just, I didn't, like I said, the first three challenges, I put so much pressure, and I think a lot of people, other people would. I'm not very competitive, so God only knows how much pressure people put on themselves to get to not only the finish line, but to do all that and make sure that they're body confident, because you've got to take a photo every week. All it takes is one shitty week and you're not going to finish it out because you don't like the look of yourself. So the first few challenges, I was kind of like, got to like do it properly and all the rest of it. And then this one, I kind of threw caution to the wind and concentrated on what I wanted to finish, which is just basically losing the beer belly, feeling fitter, feeling stronger. But you can't portray that through a photo or a fucking app. You can't say, oh, by the way, I've got $1 million in the bank and I feel much fitter. Prove it. Can't. You're just going to have to take my word for it. So you do need those accountability photos. And yeah, it is intimidating, but I just think you need to, if I could give one message to anyone, it would be take pressure away from yourself. On one of my first challenges, I think I did a video. I was a bit more active in the group. And I was saying it's called a challenge for a reason, but it doesn't have to be challenging all the time. You can just take that pressure away. If you've got a target to hit 10,000, 15,000 steps a day and you don't hit it, fuck, because the mind will just go, right, you didn't make it this year, you may as well just get into some ice cream. Do you know what I mean? That's how it works. And you really need to just give yourself a fucking break, especially this year. There's enough going on. No one gives a fuck if you've not made your goal for the one day or a week. Just don't fall completely off and get and just jink a few things and take the pressure away. That'd be my biggest message, I think. Yeah, your mind can do horrible and wonderful things, and generally when you beat yourself up and the pressure gets too much, you just bin it all off and resort to, I don't know, old habits, shall we say? And how you used to behave when you felt shit, which is not good. Anyway, can Karen talk now? Because I need to go and have a wee and get some water on board, because I've talked about rehydration. I made myself thirsty.
Okay, Karen, you've been certainly very, very patient. But you know, last but not least, tell us about your challenge.
I can relate to so much of what Ben just said in terms of this one. I just didn't put any pressure on myself. So I'd done the challenge before this one and dropped out after about 5 weeks. The first challenge, I'd set a weight goal and I was doing pictures of me, and I just hated it every week, having to get on the scales, having to look at the pictures. and it just wasn't enjoyable. So I dropped out of the first challenge that I did. I think I joined the academy in about February. So dropped out of the first one. This one, I decided before the next challenge date was even announced I was going to step goal, because that was the one thing I could control during lockdown. I've been working from home since lockdown, and my job involves a lot of sitting down, so I really needed to be more active. But I just liked the fact that it was down to me how many steps I got, whereas it wasn't down to me what was going to happen on the weighing scales. So that just felt a lot of pressure was lifted. And I checked with the coaches if instead of sending pictures of me every week, I could send a sort of screenshot of the steps I'd done. So I did a before and after photo, but the photos in between were my sort of Fitbit printout thingies. So that was a lot better. I think the timing was really good for me with the challenge that I came third in, because it literally finished the day before I was going to Cornwall for a month. So that was always a really, really good incentive for me. I used Coach Chat quite a lot. Got so much from people's lives. They were a real help. Yeah, and yeah, I think one thing that I would say to people is, if you are struggling, reach out to Coach Chat, because that's what they're there for. Then they're always really helpful. As Craig said, they can adapt programs if you need them to. They can give advice on nutrition or water. And even for me, when I had 1 week where I'd been unwell, and so my steps were really down, and I was thinking, oh, here we go again. It's sort of like going to drop out with this one. And the coaches were sort of really good in just grounding me and saying, it's just a bad week. We've got 6 weeks left. Just sort of get back on it next week.
Awesome,
so, yeah. And then it was interesting, because a bit like Ben, I was away when the results came in, and I woke up one morning to some messages saying, oh, congratulations on coming third. And my response was, but I haven't entered anything, because I'd never even considered that. I suppose I'd not considered that I'd finished a challenge, so I never even thought about placing. But yeah, it was a shock. I did do measurements before and after, and I did those sort of every month instead of every week, and I think that helped as well. Not obsessing over numbers definitely helped. And as some people know from the Zoom chat we did with James, I drew something rather rude on my weighing scales just to remind me that number is
a massive wang.
It was, yeah.
I heard about this. It's almost like one of those where people have taken a picture of their scales in the buff, and they've not realised, and they've posted it to their Instagram.
Yeah, I saw one of those.
Yeah, we've all seen one before, haven't we? Yeah, where it's usually gentlemen, but have taken a picture, and then the mirror image of the scales has been their wanks. But you drew one on there just because it's
it's still there actually. Yeah, it had an addition the other week. Unfortunately, some toothpaste dropped onto it in an unfortunate place, which was quite amusing.
Yeah,
but
yeah. Unfortunate toothpaste. Fuck off, love. You put it there and you know it. In fact, you probably tried it 5 different times just to get it in the right place. Fucking accident.
Yeah, it did take a few times, Ben. Yeah. But yeah, I think it actually got me through lockdown doing the challenge, because Leicester, after the national lockdown was lifted, Leicester was in a local lockdown. And I think if I didn't have the challenge for my focus, then yeah, I don't think it would have did well, mentally or physically. So I'm really glad I had it as a focus.
And how many steps did you do over?
I think my target was 1 million, and I did 1,125,000. I think when I was going out to work, I was averaging about 12,000 a day. But since lockdown, some days I'd be lucky if I got over 1,000. So it was upping it by quite a lot. But I found some creative ways to do that. I would get up early and go for a walk before I started work. I'd do some of my phone calls in the day while I was walking around the house, and yeah, making time to go for walks at weekends when maybe that wouldn't have been my focus normally. So it took pushing myself to do things that I wouldn't normally do, but it definitely helped. And I think I'd never realised how much just getting your steps in does make a difference. So, you know, the things that James says about parking further away in the supermarket car park, I always do that now. And if I see anybody else doing it, I automatically think that they're a member of the academy and that they're doing the same thing. So, yeah, I think steps helped, coach chat helped, and just taking the pressure off myself that was on in the previous challenge.
I did the parking in the supermarket car park as far away as possible and bought far too much and didn't take the trolley back to the car. And I definitely felt like the shopping wasn't going to get back to the car at one point. And so I think they call it a farmer's walk, but it's yeah, I think I had 6 bags that were full and my fingers felt like they were going to fall off. But yeah, you can add that into your challenges as well. So, but that's and brilliant. And I think quite a common theme out of all 3 of you is keep it simple.
I've got no other choice. I'm simple as. Honestly, I couldn't even get the fucking microphone to work on this bastard before 8 o'clock on the dot. I felt bad because I was late. Yeah, but I think pressure. I keep mentioning it and repeating myself like a drunk fucking hobo. Putting pressure on yourself is not the way forward. If you want to do it, you've got to want to do it. You've got to like it and enjoy it. It's like doing a job you don't fucking enjoy for the rest of your life. What the fuck's that about? Just, you want to make yourself better, either mentally, physically, emotionally, whatever your goal is. You don't have to tell the fucking world. You just got to put some photos in an app and hope for the best. But because it is a life-changing thing, and depending on where you are in your life, you do put that unnecessary pressure on. And if I had any advice, it would be just to take it a little bit easier on yourself. Just do the bare minimum. Just do the bare minimum and be a bit kinder to yourself. No one's going to fucking care if you come first, second. There is no last. I guarantee if you finish 12 weeks, and it took me 4, don't forget, it took me 4 goes at it to finish the 12 weeks, you'll already feel better about yourself. And I think that's, and I'm sure James will echo this, that's more important than 6 packs and fucking shoulder boulders. That after the 12 weeks, if you fucking finish it, he's already done his job, and he would not give a fuck. He says it's hard choosing people. I think he just gets shit-faced and throws darts at a board with photos on it and go, yeah, first, second, third, you'll do. Because I think after 12 weeks, if you finish the 12 weeks, there's an underlying accomplishment within yourself. He's not a dumb fucker, is he? He knows what he's doing. I feel better for it, and I've gone on now, and it was a starting block for me. I don't know what about Craig or Karen, but for me to finish the 12 weeks felt great. As Karen said, forgot all about the challenge until the fucking text came through at silly o'clock in the morning because I was trying to catch up with some sleep. And then I text James asking if it was a wind up, and he goes, "No, it's just a start, innit? Just start." And now I've been to the gym since lockdown finished on the 2nd of December every day. Doesn't have to be fucking 150 kilo deadlifts every time, but as long as you're doing a little bit and enjoy it and stop being a prick to yourself, you'll be fine. I can't wait for the new year actually, because I think I've butchered this one. But yeah, new year I'll be hitting it like a fucking ginger stepchild. You watch.
Karen,
it's interesting as well.
Did you do anything in the from the academies? You know, it's promoted. Lift your weights, and did you do anything in the gym, or did you do any home workouts? Or
Me?
Karen.
Oh, sorry.
No,
I'll mute myself.
It was all home workouts. I think I can't remember the timescale of what happened with Leicester, but the gyms were shut during national lockdown, then local lockdown, and then even in Leicester when some of the shops opened, and maybe even some of the hairdressers and what have you, the gyms were still shut. So I think they've only opened very recently in Leicester. But yeah, I did home workouts for the entirety of the challenge, which is why the coach chat was really good, because they were great for things like checking form on certain exercises. I had an injury during the challenge, but they just sort of tweaked the program so I could still carry on working out, but leaving that body part out. So yeah, all home workouts.
What kept you going then when, okay, you've had this little bit of an injury, there's a local lockdown in Leicester, which, you know, that didn't happen anywhere else at the time. I don't think. I think it was just Leicester. Yeah, and it's obviously followed suit. But how did you keep yourself focused on getting through the challenge?
I think it's really strange, but it was just knowing that I could control how many steps I was doing. So whether the gyms were open or not, in a way, for me was irrelevant in terms of the challenge, because I just focused on my aim, which was steps, which I'd worked out in terms of how many I needed to do each day. And I just kept focusing on that and thinking anything else other than that is a bonus. So things like, if I do work out that additionally to the steps, that's great, but it's not essential. And taking that pressure off actually meant I probably did about 3 or 4 workouts a week, because I didn't feel I had to, if that makes sense. So it was focusing on the steps, but also just knowing that I didn't feel great when I dropped out of the challenge before, because I knew I hadn't really bothered trying, if I'm honest. So I thought I at least owe it to myself this time. I've got a measurable goal that I can control to give it my best shot. Never even considered winning, just wanted to finish it, really. But sort of knowing that it wouldn't be the end of the world if I didn't.
I like the simplicity of it. Did you do any weight or measurements at all?
Yeah, I lost 93 centimeters and 1.5 stone.
That's nearly a fucking meter.
Is it? Yeah, it is, isn't it? Yeah.
Fucking hell.
I don't think. I think what's really interesting is because I wasn't measuring myself on a very regular basis, I wasn't getting too hung up if I'd had a week where things hadn't dropped very much. I just really relate to what you're saying, Coops, about not putting pressure on yourself.
Isn't it?
Because
Also,
I'll see posts in the...
Sorry, go on.
No, I was to say, I'll see posts in the academy where people are giving themselves a really hard time because they've had a hard week. And it is horrible when that happens.
No, I'm joking.
Yeah. It's a 12-week challenge. So within that, I would imagine everybody will hit a hard week. It's just about keeping going.
Well,
and not letting that...
what I was going to say is, like, everyone's different beautifully, but you'll find people that will drop a fuck ton in the first 2 to 3 weeks because that's just their natural kind of way of doing it, genetics or whatever the fuck it is. And they've gone, woohoo, I've lost fucking 45 inches and I'm the size of an amoeba. And to everyone that's probably going to lose it a little bit further on, or week 10, and see the difference, that's going to crush them. And it does, comparisons to thief of joy, blah, blah, blah. It's okay, it happens, and unfortunately. And I think what people need to realise is that uniqueness to everyone's genetics and body shape, size, and all the rest of it. And if someone's screaming ahead 3 weeks in because their body reacts, because if you are going into a 12-week cycle or a 12-week challenge and you change, put in a certain food in your body, you walk more, whatever it is, some bodies will be like, fuck, it's changed, and it will all just disappear and you'll feel fantastic, but you've got to keep going for 12 weeks. And other people, it will take a little longer because it's nothing they're doing differently. You could take me and someone else, give us exactly the same workout, exactly the same food, exactly the same sleep, exactly the same hydration, and I guarantee, pick one out of 1,000, the results will be different, because we're all uniquely different in that way. And so for the guys that lose it in 3 weeks, shut the fuck up, don't tell anyone, just be happy within yourself. And for the guys that don't see that many changes in the first month, you just need to like push on through because your body's not reacted. I don't know anyone that said, I'm doing a diet and it's gone like that, unless you're a supermodel on cocaine or you've lost a limb, because it doesn't happen that way. Do you know what I mean? And I think, again, when you say about the pressure on yourself, it is a big group and you will see some fantastic transformations in a short period of time. And unfortunately, you have to wish them well and then concentrate on yourself and not worry why you haven't had that many changes in a month or anything like that. And I think that's the hardest part. And again, that's not a physical thing, that's a mental thing. And I'm all, without sounding too much like a cheese wicket, an absolute fucking hippie, I'm all about the mental approach and mindset. I just think it's more important than anything else, but you can't take photos of that. You just have to rely on yourself and make yourself feel a bit better gradually. I've always been a guy who's done the short con, even in my working career, like going traveling, pitch up, make money, move on to the next place, kitchens, all the rest of it. And now at the grand old age of 40, I'm realizing that you've got to play the long con, and the long game is much more rewarding than the short game. And this is a long game. If you want to change your life, your mindset, your physical appearance, anything really, be fucking patient and don't put yourself under too much pressure. Right,
definitely helped my mind.
Past my bedtime. I've got to be up at 3.
Well, I would. I think the long thing. What I always say is, it didn't go on overnight. It's not going to come off overnight. Yeah. If I think about how long it took me to put on the weight, if I was 18 stone at 18 and I was, 30 stone at 30, which is pretty much where I was.
Fair play.
Well, then I'd go, 12 years back the other way. I'll be back to where I want to be. And if it takes me that long, okay, it's a 25-year spin, but, hopefully it does come back off quicker than that. But, don't be upset if it takes you a while to. No,
and I think but it's hard for people, isn't it? This is a generation of Insta everything. So you want to lose it. There's no magic pill. And James says the same. It's not about fad diet or this or the other, keto, whatever he wants to pick on next week. It's just about decent moral compass and sticking to what you've been taught from the JSA. They all sing from the same hymn sheet. I've been fortunate enough to meet a couple of them. They're all solid people. They're not in there for the short game. They're going to go and be there, as Craig said and Karen said, if you do need it. A little kick up the arse, and sometimes it helps that you don't know them.
Yeah.
If you listen, a friend's just going to go, there, you're fine, you tubby cunt. Have some Ben and Jerry's, and I'll see you next week for a gin and tonic. And so beat that out if you want. But these guys don't know you. They've got 5 minutes on a chat, but they will give you a solid 5 minutes of decent advice, some kind words, whatever it is. They'll give you the time and be good about it. And for that, over time, I've learned is a good place to like fall back on should you think that things are going tits up. Tex is brilliant, Nicole, but all of them, even that little midget Jack's not too shabby, and McKean, once she gets her head out of her arse, is not too bad. But yeah, they are all decent people. Hang on.
Yeah, I think Pippa is so fantastic at being encouraging and supportive and really giving you the tough love when you need it. And because I think encouragement and support is really good, but every now and again you need the tough love. And I appreciate them for giving that. I think I'm like you, Ben. I see this as it's a stepping stone for me. The first part, I've had to drop out of this current challenge because I injured my back. But the thing I noticed is the last challenge must have really helped my mindset, because I didn't give myself a hard time about dropping out of this one. I just thought it doesn't make sense. It's not the right time. There'll be another one next year.
Yeah, I think, yeah, it happens. You can't fall off the wagon and completely tumble. It's just, yeah. I think I've exhausted myself out. I'm not going to lie. For once, I've got nothing left to say. It's been a long day.
Well, let's wrap it up on top tips, and we'll go third to first. So, Karen, what's your top tip, and where can people find you?
I think my top tip would be kind to yourself when you're doing it, and realize that it's a 12-week challenge. One bad week doesn't mean it's going to have a bad ending, so keep going and reach out to Coach at watch Pippa's live videos, because they're so helpful, and just don't talk yourself out of doing it without talking to other people, is what I would say. That the people in the group are really helpful and supportive, so if you're struggling, just always reach out for somebody.
Brilliant, thank you. And Coops?
Don't eat so fucking much and walk lots. Yeah, I think the group's massive. You can get lost in the group, and you'll always find someone for accountability or a chat. I think honestly, you'll know if you're going to stick it out by the first day. Honestly, you're like, you know what I think you don't dig deep or anything like that, but you know yourself better than anyone else, hopefully, unless you're a complete schizophrenic wank piece. You'll know if you're going to see it out and if you're not, I think, and you just have to just grind it out. The good days will be great. You'll get a PB in the gym, or you'll get that big green slice of pie chart on MFP where it's all fucking protein. You feel like the Incredible Hulk. And then there'll be other times when, I don't know, you smash a bottle of red wine without thinking about it and the cheese board's calling you from the fridge. It's 12 weeks of process, not punishment. Does that make sense?
Yeah, absolutely.
Just a process.
You've got cheese over there. That's what.
That's
Honestly, look, it's out there warming. It's going to be room temperature before I finish this podcast. I'll have cheese dreams.
The best dreams. Thanks, Coops. Craig?
Yeah, just to reiterate what the guys have said, you've got to want to do it. You've got to want to do it for yourself. So set your challenge. Make sure you're in the right mind frame and want to do it. And then just the biggest ingredients are CFD and keeping your knee up.
No, but. I'll tell you what. Here, Craig, quickly before you go, did you do Movember?
No, I didn't. No.
Mate, can you do it for December? Can you do it? And then I guarantee you'll look like Freddie Mercury. It'll be fucking amazing. I'll get you a yellow jacket and some white trousers and a microphone. You'd absolutely smash it.
Brilliant. I'll send you a photo.
Just one question I forgot to ask. Really quickly, how do you plan to spend your? Was it a holiday voucher or was it cash? I can't. Yeah,
so it works out to about $5,000, just over $5,000, I think, in British money, on a holiday. So
fucking tenby, yeah.
Well, with all these lockdowns, that's how it's looking. I'm going to have the poshest caravan for a fortnight in Tenby.
So one thing for sure, you can't buy one for $5,000. So they're expensive. Yeah. And was the prizes for second and third?
I'm fully fledged lifetime membership.
So we're not getting rid of you yet, though.
Maybe I'll do a challenge. Maybe I won't. Footloose, fancy free. No. Yeah, it's a very. I mean, I think all the prizes are generous for just basically making yourself feel better. So, yeah, I'm pretty much made up with mine. However, I did tell James that I'll be on a beach with him soon. Not this time, I don't think. The winter months have not been kind, but yeah, there's always room for improvement, and I definitely want to get on a beach and tackle him into some sand.
Yeah, I got. I didn't realise actually. I thought the prize was the Zoom call that we did with James, so I thought that's what the prize was.
You're easy,
and then, yeah, absolutely. And then it came to the time for the premium money to go out of my bank account, and it didn't go out of my bank account. So I'm there trying to contact them, finding out why. And then I found the email that said, so I've got a year's paid membership, so. That's good because it'll keep me motivated for the next year. Keep reminding me that I've got that for a reason and make good use of it.
Oh, actually, while I've got you all, once all this lockdown bollocks over, COVID fucked off, or something more like realistic, I'm going to do another social in Cheltenham. We did one a couple of years ago, and it's fucking epic. So, and I know that you can get a train from Swansea and from Leicester. And I will personally seek out one of my hotel friends and get you guys a decent room, and you can just come down and enjoy my town. Just don't tell the rest of the group because they probably won't watch this anyway. But like, we'll have a good old knees up, and I'll get that Alistair guy over as well. But yeah, we've got. Yeah,
I was thinking, hang on, I'm not been invited.
No, we just got to wait for this bloody COVID nonsense to fuck off because
not long. It's going to happen.
James was in the UK at the time, so he rocked up uninvited, didn't pay his 12 quid, piss taker. but we'll have a decent smash. I promise that to the group. I don't care how many numbers, I'll find a venue big enough, even if it's Cheltenham Racecourse, I can hold quite a fair few people. So yeah, that's my 2021 goal, as well as getting on the beach and dump tackling Smith.
Should we get the JSA to take over the Gold Cup?
You have a job, mate.
I know.
They're fucking eager, save up all year round, leave their wives behind, and get fucking fully on it. So, but the JSA members, they're being good company. Everyone's just on the smash and doesn't give a fuck. It's brilliant.
So,
I'm looking forward to his lives going ahead, because obviously on the chat you invited us all to one of those. I know.
Oh yeah, we're gonna go to the dip.
Tickets, but go and meet them at one of those and catch up with you guys there as well. So that'd be pretty cool too.
Yeah.
Well, I'm hoping to get on his on the tour bus and do a podcast with him, but you never know.
You'll be fine. Don't worry about it.
Oh yeah, I'm not that type of groupie. Guys, congratulations again. Very inspiring, and there are loads of good tips come out tonight. So and good luck with going forward. I will I will be following you.
Mate, happy days. Thanks so much for having us on, and Merry Christmas, everybody.
Merry Christmas.
Only a fortnight away, isn't it? Time to get fat again.
So thanks to all our listeners. We will be fast approaching, I think this is episode number 70. Since the start of May, we'll be at over 10,000 listens by the end of the year, and it's been a really good year for the podcast. So I really appreciate all the listeners.
Yeah, follow Cooking with Coop. No, I'm joking.
Yeah, and you can follow Cooking.
I'm joking. You can edit that out.
And we'll be back. You get another episode. We're going hard and fast at the end of the year. So we've got Bon Collins tomorrow, which I think is quite an inspiring journey for you all. And we'll be back on Saturday with 12 Weeks of Christmas. So we'll keep going. Speak to you all later.
Thanks, Al.
Thank you.
Cheers.
It's Alistair here. Make sure you fucking like this, share it. Not a charity, down £9 a month because you bastards. So get this out there, get this on the stories. And if you enjoyed it, if you haven't hit like, you like already. If you haven't hit share, hit share. There you go.